Perhaps you didn't come from much. You spent so many years trying to get money. It took you 1 year to realize that we run on a value system economy, that you are paid in proportion to the kind of problem you solve. The guy at McDonald's isn't working as hard as you and I, but is getting paid way less, because if the system can be replicated, it can be taught to a 16-year-old that would replace him. So the problem he's solving isn't that difficult to replicate. You spent 1 year understanding that money answers to value. Every single dollar, every single naira in your account was what you took from someone else. You do not make money, you take money from people. So every single dollar, every single naira is what you took from someone else. The only people who make money are in the Federal Reserve and in the Mint. You must take money from people, and the only way to do that is through skills or product. So to offer something to the other person to get his money. So it took you 1 year to learn a skill, cultivate a skill, or identify a skill that you already have, and further compound it to a point where it can be deployed in order for monetary reward. So you learned a skill, you discovered this platform called YouTube. You started posting videos, you started creating content in order to solve people problems. As I established earlier, you're only paid in proportion to the kind and the difficulty of problems you solve. But it hasn't been working so well for you because no one's been tuning in. And as a small content creator, let me not stop calling you small. As a content creator, you've paid attention, you've taken responsibility to find out what is wrong. And I commend you, by the way. You've looked at the thumbnails, you've looked at the titles, you've checked, you reiterate every single thing, and yet the result still remains the same. You've seen people who put zero thumbnail, zero titles, such that YouTube now picks a snippet from their current video and give it as a thumbnail. You've seen people who went through the route of designs of thumbnails, so many texts, and you've seen people who use alarming titles to instill fear in order to get clicks, and they're getting views. We've also seen people who erred in the opposite direction and just a simple plain text on their thumbnail with a simple title, and they see got views. It is now a cause of worry. It has become a cause of concern as the creator, that which one would you follow? It seems like every single thing you do doesn't work, but when someone else does it, it works. My friend, the problem is not you. Every single business you're failing at, every single thing you're failing at, someone else is succeeding at. The difference is the mindset. It's not what you do, it's who is doing it. It's more of who you are. Going to other platforms or seeking external things is not going to solve your problem. You have to settle down and build yourself. The success of your channel will be directly proportional to who you are as an individual. So the better you become as a person, and most entrepreneurs understand this, that the better they become as an individual, the more their business soars. So find something, find a strategy, and place complete faith in it, which leads us to the first thing. The reason, or the first advice I would give to small content creators, as well as if I could go back 2 years ago and give advice to myself, if I could go back years ago and advise myself while starting out, is to completely have faith in what you're doing. Jumping from one platform and trying to join the bandwagon in order to capitalize on things, sure, that might work for a while, but it will not be sustainable over time. You must have complete faith in whatever strategy you put. You must have complete faith that this would work for you. You must believe that whatever it is you're doing, it's going to pay off. Have faith, my friend. Which leads us to the second thing. Consistency beats speed. You should be consistent in every single thing you're doing. Take for example the S&P 500. It is proven that $100 investment monthly over the course of 45 years and with an average 10% return. Doesn't mean you're going to get 10% every single year, but sometimes it might be higher, sometimes it might be lesser. So on average 10% every single year, you would retire a millionaire. Is that the best investment strategy? Perhaps not, but this is just an idea to show you that consistency compounds. If you keep doing something over a long period of time with enough iteration and feedback, you will get the desired outcome ultimately. So be patient in what you're doing and be consistent. Majority of you would look at my channel now and go back to my oldest videos. The first thing you do is you look at when I started. Oh, you started X, you compare my current level to yours. You look at my oldest video, you see 500,000 views, you see 1 million views. You go, yeah, of course he got 1 million views on his first video. That's why, my friend, I'm going to tell you something. I got 0 views on all my videos. Anytime I average on a 2-digit videos, anytime I got 2-digit views on a video, it was considered progress, and I had to review that video because it is deemed favorable to the algorithm. So I had to review the video. Any video that got 2-digit views as low as 19, 20, 25, I had to redo it. So it was on the course of one video exploding that every single audience had to review my previous video in order to glean as much wisdom from that version of me. So I got 2 views every single video I posted, day in, day out. Nobody knows what it feels like to wake up every single day, post video, day in, day out, getting 0 views. I got 2 views every single video I posted, and the only who are those 2 views, my brother and my other brother. How I knew that my other brother has gone back to boarding school is when my view count reduced to 1. Then I know, oh, he's gone back. So my channel was very bad at the beginning stages. I had to post 220 videos to even achieve any molecule of success. It is this video I'm recording that blew up this channel because I have faith that this is the video, this is the one that's taking this channel from point A to point B, and I believe it solely. Nobody knows what it is like to post videos day in, day out and be consistent. I was speaking to my brother once upon a time and he said to me, how many videos are you on? 200 and something videos. Day in, day out. If I was the one, I would have given up. So is the illusion of consistency. When you're being consistent, you have 0 idea that you're being consistent until you share that experience with someone. Someone else has to point it out. Some external figure has to point it out for you. Then you become encouraged again. Consistency compounds. If you invest $100 with an average 10% return, it takes 20 years to get your first 100K, and it takes 1 year to get your first 10K. It takes 20 years to get your first 100K, and it takes 1 year to get your first 10K with 100,000, assuming a 10% return. So consistency compounds. Consistency in every single thing you're doing. Nobody knows, and I want to tell you that before you seek counsel, make sure the person you're seeking counsel from has experienced has a requisite track record of pain in order to counsel you. I refuse to listen to someone who's memorized a few words, read a few books. Those kind of people are too innocent to give you counsel. You meet a woman and she said she has been barren for 10 years, and you who just got married 6 months, I believe that's someone you should listen to on how to navigate the ill-speaking of parents, mother-in-laws, and family members. So when I'm telling you and speaking to you as a small content creator, you should listen, because do you know what it feels like to research? Get your vocabularies, tune down your intellect in order to match the level of the audience you're speaking to. Get all those things in check. Your materials, your thumbnails, try to upload it on time, go through all those stress and get 0 views. and you're still clocking it day in, day out, fatigue creeps in, you feel like throwing the covers in. It's the easiest thing to do is to quit, but you said no, you're going to keep doing it. Now, if I tell you content creators that you should keep persisting, keep doing what you're doing, you should listen. Be consistent. Consistency compounds. Another thing that we are going to touch on very briefly is the desire. The desire to do it. When John F. Kennedy asked Von Braun, what does it take to put a man on the moon? He said, the desire to do it. So you must sustain the desire, pursue that goal like a lion panting after a deer. Pursue it. Make sure, believe that this can actually happen for you. Believe it so much that you can taste it in your mouth. Now, I'm not going to buttress on this point, because if I have to tell you and articulate why you need the desire to pursue your goals, or why you have to sustain the desire in order to finish, then you're not ready to achieve your goal. The last but not the least is identify what you have in your control and what you do not have, or what is out of your control. This is something I struggled with early in my career. Instead of seeing someone fail and going through that same experience, failing that same experience, you're the one who's twice as unwise because someone else has failed for you. If it's a story you're looking for, my friend, I guarantee you success is a journey, not a destination. There are so many pitfalls along the way, and if you can learn from my experience and it helps you escape that experience and find your own experience in which you emerge victorious and draw victory lessons from it, then it's okay by you. Learn from other people's experience, not your own experience. The wise person learns from his own experience, an intelligent person learns from other people's experience. So learn. Stop trying to create artificial situations where you fail. And this is consistent if you have a dogged mentality like me. Instead of going the easy way, you rather go through the hard way. But my friend, there's no need running through a wall when you can go over it, around it, or even through it by a door. There are some times where hard work doesn't necessarily pay. Take the example of my friend working at the McDonald's. Choose what to work hard on. Now, identify what is in your control and what it isn't, and what isn't. If you take, for instance, if you're about to boil water using gas cooker and you turn on the gas, the only thing you have in your control as translating that water into steamed water, translating that warm water into hot water, is the turning of the gas. The actual boiling process is something you have zero control over. You have zero control over it. So the only thing you can do is to wait. The Bible says it. Paul planted, Apollo watered, and only the Lord that gives increase. So there's some things that only the universe or God can reward you for your monumental hard work. There are only some things that you have control over. It's like a farmer going to plant a seed and coming tomorrow, the next day, to curse the seed because it hasn't blossomed into a tree. That is arsenal. You would see that situation and laugh at the farmer, yet it's the exact same thing you're doing in your own life today. You're doing the exact same thing. So there's some things that will take time, there's some things that require patience. Consistency compounds, my friend. As the countless examples I've given you, consistency compounds. Back to, let's touch on the first point we made. Initial are still addressing small content creators. Because you're creating content, you shouldn't feel guilty because there's some kind of reward attached to this content you're creating. Look, you're not being a charlatan for commoditizing your information via YouTube. You say to them, look, I have a problem and I can solve this your problem of depression. I can make you a better person. I can show you how to utilize the objects in your home. All I require is your determination and your attention. Then YouTube will take care of the reward system. It doesn't make you a bad person. Where it becomes kind of charlatan, if you like, is when you start selling courses. It's not necessarily because those courses are bad, but people have so been exploited from that niche. That niche is far saturated with fake gurus, and people have been so wounded, course buyers, that at the mention of course, you lose 80% of the trust of your audience. It's not necessarily because they are bad, because you can't blame them. And I've taught you on this channel that mindsets are formed from past experiences and environment. The only reason you know once you twist the doorknob, the door is going to open up to you is because you've tried it in the past and it worked. And if it doesn't, you know it's locked. So that mindset, that information was sustained from past experience. And at the mention of course, those course buyers who have been wounded and gone into debt and have gone through all shades of pain in that experience, instantly identify it and put up defense. Scammer, 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 scammer. You don't blame them. No, it's not their fault. It's your past experience. Their past experience. The course community is the kind of people I do not want to affiliate with. Not because they are bad, but there's so many shit out there and people have been so wounded. I'd rather give it for free than if you feel like appreciating the channel, you can send gifts or donate. That if you feel like appreciating the channel. But selling course is something I pray not to do in the future. I really do not want to sell courses. It's a way to lose trust, especially from audience. Yeah, so that was just to address that point and to stop making you feel guilty for putting up your stuff on YouTube. You're not a bad person for wanting a better life. I commend you for choosing the path of righteousness, for not stealing or scamming people. I believe that your channel is going to pop up. And some of you are bitter and angry because you've been so wounded upcoming that many people didn't believe in you. Many people told you you're going to fail. And the sole purpose of doing this content of the team is to get back at them. There are literally thousands of people waiting to laugh at you. Do not give them that opportunity. Do not give them that chance to do it. You become bitter and envious. When this thing works out, I'm going to show this person, I'm going to show that. But my friend, you're also part of the demographic that says heroes and villains have the same backstory, pain. The hero says the world hurts me and I will make sure it doesn't hurt anyone else. The villain says the world hurts me and I'm going to hurt it back. You're being the villain of your story. And that envy, jealousy is blocking the flow of your gift. It's like a stagnation in a drainage. When maybe because of you pass a drainage and because of some reason it is blocked, this water just becomes stagnated. There's no flow, and over a period of time, if you pass that area, the smell becomes unpleasant. It's the same thing with your gift. Envy, jealousy, hate is like a blockage in your heart. That's why the Bible says, guard your heart with all diligence, because out of it are the issues of life. Don't carry any hate, don't be envious. When you see a YouTube channel doing better than you, don't hate on it, don't compare yourself to him. Don't click on the about and check the information of the channel. When he started his oldest video, how many views? Instead, accept it gracefully and pass, or see what you can learn from the creator. Don't be jealous, don't be envious. As always, my friends, I believe every single one of you will do great. I'm rooting for you, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.